So, welcome to a special edition of Boxing Media Hub, where we're going to have a little chat about Derek Chisora. As obviously most people saw the fight. If not, the highlights are now on DAZN on YouTube.
There's highlights of that fight,
if you want to. If you want to see the lowlights, there was Derek Chisora versus Gerald Washington. Which was a very slow, drab fight, to say in the nicest possible terms. And then, it went all the way, and Chisora got handed the win. Some people say it was a draw. I think was the biggest consensus of it, wasn't it, Ender? But
it was hard to score. But I mean, I think I didn't.
It was a bit of a mess. It could have gone either way or been a draw. It
could have gone either way, but I mean, giving it to Chisora, I think the scores were wide.
Yeah, the two of the judges were horrific. But Derek then had an interview afterwards because he had a real nasty cut as well, which was nasty from, I think, the first or second round.
Yeah.
But Derek had a chat with IFL TV. Big shout out for them doing the interview. Derek came out with, they sort of had a chat with him, and he turned around and said, look, I didn't enjoy that myself. These are his words. Bad performance. That's not me. The only good thing was my outfit, which was fucking brilliant, because he came out in the Barbie coloured shorts with, I think, Barbie Dad written on the back.
Or they'll go to town on him.
But Barbie Dad, I think, was written on the back of his gown.
Was written on the back of
it. Obviously, his mate Tony Bellew came in on the interview just briefly, and he said, "Look, super proud of him. He always digs in. He always, digs in deep with people and works hard. I don't think we can, say otherwise to that. I think he does. I think he always does try to give everything he's got, whatever he's got."
What he's got left.
Exactly. And he said, and he questioned Washington's heart. Wasn't massively sure on that one.
That's Tony Bellew all out though.
Yeah. I think emotions run high. He was next to his mate. And he said he would do that to anyone on any given night. Now, I don't know, based on the performance that he gave, he meant that, or what Derek can actually do when he's ready. And
I don't think you're going to get a better performance from Derek.
Not now.
And I'm not saying that was good. It wasn't. It was fairly.
And even he said himself, I didn't enjoy that myself. It was a bad performance.
Yeah.
But Tony said he goes down as a legend of British boxing. And then Coogan Cassius, who's done very well for himself. What's the plan now for Derek Chisora? What's the plan for Derek Chisora now? Derek came out with, I'll pray on it for a couple of weeks, as a man of God recently, and see what God wants me to do next. But it's not retirement for me. So, right. And Coogan said, well, he was kind of edging around the question of what's happening next, Derek, how long can this kind of, and he said, look, I'm not stopping, fuck off. Those were his words outright. He said, it's not my time yet, and it's about my kids. To which Coogan turned around and said, look, I'm a bit concerned here because that's not a great answer. That's a bit of a worry.
Because his fight against Tyson Fury was his pension pot, I mean,
and that was dreadful as well.
But regardless, I mean, we all knew what it was going to be before it started. And it was exactly what it said in the tin, and anyone that paid for it's an idiot. But even that fight, I was like, why is he still going? And we know the promoters aren't going to ever stop him because
he draws attention.
exactly. He draws attention, and he's still a name. And as Tony Bellew said, he is a legend of British boxing. So he does carry cash. His name carries cash with it. So while he can fight, while he's still got a license, the promoters are always going to use him. They won't be encouraging him to retire. But I mean, he says for his kids. Well, I think for his kids' sake, he should retire.
And
But,
this is
but,
this
but,
is my worry.
but
Sorry.
it's on him. Nobody can make his decision for him, and I'm not telling him he should retire. I'm saying I think if I were him, I would retire. But what he does is entirely up to him, because we're all masters of our own destiny in so much as we are. So while he has the choice, it's his to make. But I know which choice I'd make if I were in his shoes.
And this is what I think Tony Bellew was aiming at, in the fact that when he turned around and said he goes down as a legend of British boxing, he's had great fights. It was all in the past tense. He's had. He
well,
is,
yeah, because none of
and
his recent haven't been good. But yeah, no, he's had exciting fights in the past, and
yeah,
he is a name of British boxing. Like, I mean, legend might be too strong a word, but he's definitely one of those enigmatic figures of British
yeah,
boxing.
100%.
Like that,
He's a character.
he's a character. He sells tickets. He gets bums on seats. He gets eyes on the TV. The promoters love that, so they will keep going as long as he's got a license. So don't expect Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren or
I have to
what
say,
they're about.
I have to say because he did have a little rise again when David Hay came with him, because you saw the change in the physique. There was a new hunger. They changed the name to War Chisora. He tried to almost reinvent him a little bit, didn't he? And it worked to a degree. He looked better. He looked healthy. The diet was changed. But then he left David Hay, and it seemed to just go back to where it was before. And like he said at the end of the interview, I would die for my kids. And he said, funnily, he said, I'd die for my mother, but not my wife, because she just might go and find someone else, which was brilliant. But I just thought his end line was, I have 3 more fights. I want to get to 50.
I don't think he
And
should.
that's the concern. Is he's saying, I'm going to take these couple of weeks out to have a think about it, have a pray about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Christian myself. I'll take time out to do whatever. He said, I'll listen to God, but I'm not retiring, and I will not quit. And already in his mind, I've got 3 more fights. I will get to 50. And that's where the concern is. Let us know in the comments, people. Like me and Ender have said, there has been a decline in the performances. Yeah, there was that peak with David Hay, and we'll both agree he looked a lot better because things had changed. But Father Time, in my eyes, where Tony Bellew was kind of pointing him in that direction, as catching up. If you yourself turn around and say, I didn't enjoy that myself, it was a bad performance, I think he lost someone, and a friend was buried on Monday. So,
yeah,
a big sorry to the family and to what Dell's been through. But obviously, things are sitting on his mind that shouldn't be there. And I think the Fury fight was the start where it's kind of, he's gone into that shutdown.
Well, I was hoping the Fury fight was the last fight. I thought that was his pension pot. That's what he'd said.
Yeah.
And that was fine. I accepted that. I mean, it was an awful lot of money.
Yeah, and that's the money fight, isn't it? That's the
so
money fight.
That was done. Like, I mean, he's not going to get that Fury money anymore. So, okay, he can continue. I mean, like, there's other avenues he can explore. I mean, like...
At Ender, he spoke about Wilder. That's a worry. That's a major worry.
Well, I can't see any reason why Wilder would fight Chisora. It would be nothing for Wilder. You know, it wouldn't make any money. It wouldn't be a good fight. You couldn't sell it in America. You couldn't sell Wilder Chisora in America. Absolutely not. So I don't think that's a runner at all. Of course, unless Eddie kind of, I don't know, but no, I don't think that's a viable fight. But we'll see where it goes from here. But for me, it's yeah, I think it's time to call it a day.
Yeah, no, I'm in total agreement. And following that interview, it made me feel that way even more, to be perfectly honest. But let us know in the comments if you feel Dell should go for these last 3 fights, whatever he's got in mind. Because, you know, you fought the champion. You can't go above that. Actually, you fought both champions. You fought Usyk and Fury. So where do you go next? What is the other big competition other than some of the bigger lads coming up? Who do you go against? Let us know in the comments how you feel about this one, because a lot of people came away. We saw a lot on Twitter as well that people were quite worried about Derek.
You should stick a poll on this as well. I think it will be unanimous.
Yeah, well, I did a poll on Twitter, and it was 95% to retire.
Not surprised.
So, yeah, let us know in the comments. As I say, it's always a tough video, this sort of thing, because he's a fan favourite and people do like him and his character and all the rest of it. But there has to be a time.
But because he's a fan favourite, fans want what's best for him now. And I think for most genuine boxing fans, it's time. Most think it's time for him to, hang up the gloves and enjoy the good life.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. Ender, thank you very much as always. And yeah, good luck to Derek, whatever he does next. Until then, have some of this.
Have it.